Yo, guys, I hope you're well. So, guys, yesterday, Home Secretary Yvette Cooper gave her violent disorder statement in front of a disappointingly near empty House of Commons last night. My immediate thoughts, guys, were of shock and anger. Where are our MPs? There's meant to be 650 MPs and less than 200 turned up. And to be honest with you, it's probably less than 100 to this violent disorder act. Who is representing us? Who is representing us, people? I actually had a sneak suspicion, a sneak thought that perhaps the Home Secretary Yvette Cooper would be ably assisted by Keir Starmer, but it wasn't to be, people. It wasn't to be. I know it's his birthday. I know he's probably busy doing something else, but I thought with it being the first massive debate of the new season session of Parliament, that Starmer might be there, but he wasn't. And probably that's why only a smattering of people turned up. But guys, it's quite offensive because this is the violent disorder statement. It affects everyone, people. So I would have expected 650 MPs to have turned up, but they didn't. My immediate reaction was of shock and anger, but I've had a little bit of time to calm down and think about it, guys. So let's just talk about what happened for this violent disorder statement from the Home Secretary, Yvette Cooper. So, guys, Cooper came out on the attack and she set the tone for her statement and the debate by taking both the moral high ground, first by accusing protesters and rioters of hijacking the deaths of the three innocent young girls who were brutally murdered in Southport, and swiftly followed by throwing over the following words on numerous occasions like a mantra. So these words like far right thugs, far right, thuggish. Cooper also added the words criminal, thugs, disgraceful, and violent disorder before pulling out her trump card and screaming the word racism for all to cower under. Cooper recounted the riots and the brazen criminality perpetuated by criminals. Remember, people, to take note of the words and the language this government uses to reinforce how it speaks down to us. Guys, none of us are criminals or rioters or thugs or brazen, but the likes of Cooper and Starmer love to lump us all together, even though we all have individual wants and needs and drivers. No, in the eyes of this government, anyone who disagrees or questions their motives must be mindless, thuggish, criminal, and of course, racist. Cooper beamed as she ran off a list of figures for the riots as she slaps herself on her own back in congratulations. In total, around 1,280 people have been arrested, around 800 charges have been made, and over 570 individuals have been brought before the courts for offences such as violent disorder, assaults on emergency workers, arson, and for encouraging violent attacks online. And then Cooper announced new measures to reinforce government control with her next steps. And some of these next steps are the introduction of positive policing reform. So that's the introduction of positive policing reform, the commitment to putting thousands of police back onto the streets, back onto the beat, and into community policing. And then she says that she will address the threat of extremism, both from Islamism and the far right, and targeting of online and social media companies to make them accountable within the within the Online Safety Act. And last but not least, she's looking at a package to support the police with the Riot Compensation Act. So guys, I was dismayed as MP after MP showed their weakness, bowing down to and crawling to Cooper before James Cleverly, who is the Shadow Home Secretary, took Cooper to task. So he tackled Labour and the police over their mishandling and incompetency over the recent Notting Hill Carnival, the Notting Hill Gate Carnival people, which has claimed the lives of 2 innocent people, and many, many more criminal activities have transpired. And cleverly also asked, why has nothing been done about the Labour MP who was inciting murder? So guys, particularly in this period of swift justice, there does seem to be a 2-tier system. There does. Cleverly also and rightly raised the issue of the Black Lives Matter and Labour and the police kneeling down to this mob during their period of wanton violence and vandalism. It did nothing to help the divisions in this country, people. It made the divisions worse. So guys, cleverly also asked, where is Starmer's so-called standing army of police that he's meant to have on speed dial to police our streets? Or is it just to police those who are thought to be far right and thuggish? Come to think of it, people, where is Starmer? Where is Keir Starmer? We know it's his birthday, but do we have to wait until PMQs, Prime Minister's Question Time, before we can tackle him face to face? He sure was quick enough to travel the country and to Ireland in order to call people thugs and racists during the riots. But now, not a peep. Or is he out renegotiating our entry back into Europe? So guys, cleverly called out for there to be impartiality from both the government and the police force, but Yvette Cooper battered him back as merely electioneering for the Tory party leadership. Make no mistake, people, Yvette Cooper really is a Starmer Mark II. She is of the same mould as her glorious and wonderful leader, and well versed in the art of deflection. So over the course of the sycophancy from certain MPs, Cooper was asked a few pertinent questions, which she either dodged, ignored or avoided. Sir Julian Lewis praised Labour on their swift meting out of justice through the courts, and then asked Cooper if they will be adapting this model of swift response in other areas of justice, or is this just to be handed out to the far right? Cooper admitted that there have been and there are long delays in the criminal justice system, including policing, prosecutions and the CPS. Gavin Robinson of the Democratic Unionist Party asked Cooper what will she be doing about immigration policy for Northern Ireland and the Illegal Immigration Act now that the Rwanda Act has been scrapped by Labour. She faffed and didn't really provide a coherent solution, but did admit that there is an issue with border security and asylum, and a wider debate needs to be had regarding asylum and immigration from the hard and decent working people, which is something that Starmer has never called the common sense majority of this country. Yvette Cooper was also asked to define what this government means when it labels people as far-right extremists, and she came up with a very feeble description, calling into account the last review of extremism being in 2015, since which a lot has changed. Cooper cited the colour of skin, both far-right and Islamist extremism, and online radicalisation. Make of that what you will. I will also give her fair dues, because they are warranted. And it seems that the Home Secretary, Yvette Cooper, is not as blinkered as that man that calls himself our Prime Minister, because he refuses to even countenance any sort of debate. We've all been screaming for a grown-up debate and think tanks on what can be done to counter all sorts of extremism in our country, and not just to target one, but to ignore another. Hopefully Cooper will honour her words and we will finally get some sort of lay of what extremism runs through our country from all sides. Lee Anderson of Reform UK asked Cooper what this government is doing about knife crime. Stabbings and deaths by stabbings are increasing exponentially. If the government can arrest, charge, process, and jail rioters within 2 weeks, then why not these criminals with knives? To me, I just heard crickets. Knife crime affects everybody, yet successive governments deliberately do nothing about this crime that is increasingly affecting our children. So, guys, to sum up, these are just my thoughts. In the Commons, the MPs just band together and close ranks. They are friends, backing up friends, performing the dance of wolves against us, the commoners, the enemy who must be kept at bay at all times, protecting their necks and ensuring we are all complicit as thugs and racists and must dance to their tune and not ours. The MPs are not for us people. They say they represent us, but I don't see them representing us. Guys, we are always on the back foot with these MPs. They really do not represent us, the people. Backslapping each other and congratulating each other for showing us, the people, we have zero rights. No one wishes to conduct violent acts, and Yvette Cooper herself confirmed that many of these so-called thugs were in fact repeat violent offenders with prior and existing criminal records to prove it. Opportunists at best, but no proof of being far right in their ideology and no evidence of plans and conspiracies. I most definitely, and I know that you guys most definitely do not advocate violence, nor do I advocate smear campaigns. And we all know that the riots were not just about one issue, but a whole melting pot of issues that had gone ignored for far too long. Guys, in a few days and a few weeks, it would have been quite a long period since the start and the end of the riots. So how long can this government use the riots to bash, bully and beat the people into submission? They've used the riots for all of these anti-free speech elements that they're putting into, or they will be making into law. They're looking at Elon Musk and others to literally take away our freedoms of speech, and they're using it all off of the back of these riots. So guys, there's been a long time since the start and end of the riots, people, but now why are they still using the riots to beat and bash us to a pulp? We need our freedoms of speech. We cannot have them taken away from us. We cannot have them taken away from us. We cannot have them taken away from us. Guys, please keep a watchful eye and keep your ears out. Listen and watch and just take in what this government is doing and what they're doing it in the name of as well, people. Because after a few sleeps, we will find out, we will wake up one day and we will have no freedoms at all. The riots happened. They happened for a multitude of reasons. But this government cannot and must not use the riots to beat up on the common sense majority who do not riot, who do not say anything detrimental, etc., etc. We speak our mind within a legal framework, but the government is going to stop us from doing that. This is the important thing to think about, people. Just don't look at the surface. Dig deep into what these people are doing. Don't look at a surface level, people. There is a lot deeper this government's looking to do. So guys, we abhor rioters, we abhor people who go and break the law, but we cannot be punished for what this tiny fraction have done. They are literally, and by the language they used in the Commons yesterday, we have all been lumped into that same mould as far right, thuggish, extremist, you name it. That's what they call us, guys. Do not let them defeat us. Do not let them take away our voice, because without a voice we are nothing. Guys, let me know down here in the comment section if you get a chance to watch the speech, guys. I think it's online now. Please watch it. It's about an hour long or so. Just watch it and just make up your own minds about what's going on, people. To me, from me watching it, my immediate thoughts are there is a surface level to what this government is doing, but then there's a far deeper level to what they intend to do. And it's a similar sort of thing as I was watching about these MPs. They do this dance with wolves, guys, but at the end of the day, they're all friends and they're all dance partners. we come very, very, very far down in their list of priorities, guys. We come very far down their list of priorities. Only about 100 people turned up for this statement, and I thought it would be packed. So, guys, what does that tell you? Anyway, guys, I can't keep pontificating and saying stuff because it's just going to get me angry. So, guys, make sure you look after yourselves, you look after each other, and please come back to the next Urban Bars reaction, guys.